Hi everybody. So today I'm gonna have a video on a very sensitive topic. Today I wanted to share my experience with depression. I don't know if you can tell by this face, but I haven't slept in 24 hours. This is something that's been in the back of my head for quite a while now, but every time I try to film this video, it just never works out. Something always goes wrong. Up until yesterday, I couldn't sleep, and I was just thinking about whether or not to film this video. So what I did is that I started writing. I started writing everything that I wanted to talk about. It's kind of like a letter, just sharing my testimony, sharing my experience. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna talk about what I've been going through the last month, and I'm just sharing these in hopes of maybe helping someone, maybe someone who's watching, maybe someone you know. I don't know, but this is my testimony. This is how I deal with depression, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. About a week before Christmas, my husband gave me my early gift, a laptop. He had listened to me when I had mentioned that I wanted to start a channel to share all about me. I told him about ladies on YouTube that had a crazy love for polish like me, and I wanted to do what they did. I wanted to talk about our polish obsession. As soon as I finished reading a beautiful handwritten note that came with the gift, I was speechless. Unfortunately, not because I was in shock or surprise. I was speechless because there were so many voices in my head. I couldn't even process my thoughts. You can't do it. How do you back out now? He just spent all his savings. Now you have to succeed. You don't even know how to edit, communicate, or be creative. And so on, and so on. I was overwhelmed and I felt so much pressure. I felt like the expectation on me to succeed was so high and I wouldn't deliver. The truth is, my husband had no expectations. He just wanted me to be happy and share my love for polish on YouTube. But you see, I was blinded by depression. I remember not saying a word, even though I was screaming on the inside. I was going insane with so much in my head. So when my husband asked me to turn on my laptop and create my account, I slowly got up from my chair silently, stepped into the kitchen, took an excessive amount of sleeping pills, and went to my room without saying a word. I wanted to shut the voices in my head as soon as possible. I laid on my bed and cried myself to sleep. Then, pitch black. No dreams, no feels, just pitch black. When I woke up the next day, it felt like I had been unconscious. Such a weird feeling, I can't even describe it. It felt like I had come back from nothing. I remember feeling like crap, both emotional and physical. The pills had made me sick to my stomach. I felt like hungover. I was so mad for being alive. I had been dealing with depression for so long. This was just too much. This was the tipping point. I didn't want to keep going. So I started crying like crazy, pulling my hair, acting like a crazy woman. I stepped into the kitchen, checking if I had enough pills left. Checking if I had enough pills left to put an end to this. I did. I then proceeded to call my husband to talk to him. I asked if he was busy, and he said he was, so I hung up on him. But before taking my life, I wanted to talk to God. So I started screaming in my living room, such a dark room in a cloudy day. I started asking him why. Why did he want me to keep suffering? Why did he allow me to wake up? Why was he not done with me? Had I not been put through enough already? Who else did he want me to disappoint? How many more failures did I have to go through? and so on. So then, I have to shamefully admit, I put God to the test. I caught a glance of my Bible, a part of me knowing He was there with me. My hope and faith reminded me that He is near the suffering and those who feel lonely. I grabbed the Bible and shouted, "You who know everything, you whose word is eternal, whose word is alive, whose world is life, tell me something I don't know. Oh, please tell me why you want me here." I opened the Bible randomly, without even looking. Random page. I just opened it. And He spoke. Matthew chapter 26, 36 through 46. Gethsemane. I fell on my knees to the floor and covered my face in shame. I couldn't believe it. He had said everything I needed to know. Everything I needed to hear. Jesus' soul was overwhelmed with sorrow, just like mine was. The only difference is that Jesus accepted the Father's will. I was not accepting God's will. I wanted my will. And I am not perfect. I make mistakes. My will is selfish and stubborn. His will is always good. His plans are always good. I went to my bedroom, laid on my bed, and to my surprise, a few minutes later, my husband walked in. God sent. A few days later, he admitted that after he got my phone call that day, he had to make a decision. It was either stay at work, make $100 in tips in one delivery, or come home to me. He prayed about it, and he says that now when he looks back at that day, he would rather be $100 short than to not have a wife. Dealing with depression on your own is hard. I have amazing days and not so good ones. But the hope of better days keep me going. I love making YouTube videos. It is a healthy way to keep me distracted. It keeps my thought busy instead of negative. But when filming and editing is over, overthinking began. I have been very overwhelmed about what the future holds, whether or not to return to work, and so on. I was very sensitive. I was keeping all these thoughts to myself. And that was my mistake. On January 9th, before bedtime, me and my husband had a disagreement. I felt like he just didn't understand me, so depression stepped in. I couldn't go to sleep. Now insomnia was present. I got so emotional. I felt like no one could understand me. Where to run when the only friend you have doesn't even understand you? Stress and overthinking had now joined the party. So I went down the rabbit hole of depression that leads to suicidal thoughts. Only this time around, I was clinging to hope. I was hopeful of a better tomorrow. I knew God's will is greater. So I got online and started searching for help and information. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It is 3 a.m. My eyes are so small from all the crying. The light on my phone burns. But I catch the online chat option. I can't talk on the phone, because if I do, I'll wake up the kids. So yes, online chat will do. After agreeing to the terms of service and filling out my zip code, I am now in line with 64 people ahead of me. A friendly reminder that they will be with me shortly, and that if I need help now, I should call the Lifeline 1-800-273-8255. I decide to wait. As I am scrolling to the page, I see links on resources and calming, distressing environments. I found an article on how writing can help, so I began writing. To my surprise, what I wrote was looking like a goodbye letter to my family. I was basically saying that they are better off without me. As I read it back, I realized I didn't like what I was writing. But ironically, I was feeling peaceful that I was writing down all of my thoughts. Only 26 people ahead of me now. So I went back, hopeful that another link can help. I found what I needed. Stories of Hope and Recovery, Terry Weiss. This is a woman that survived a suicide attempt. She describes in her testimony that when seeking help to tolerate being alive, her therapist asked her, "Do you really think you are worth that little?" Then she proceeds to talking about how her life has changed. Only 20 people ahead of me now. I now find myself questioning me the same thing after reading what turned into my goodbye letter. Do I really think I am worth that little? So I turn to hope once again. I cling to every bit of hope I have. I turn to Him and say to myself, I am a child of God. I am worthy. I am loved. I have a purpose. And I can do all things through Him who gives me strength. I need to keep fighting the good fight. And I cried. I felt happy that I didn't take it as far as I did on my last encounter with suicidal thoughts. I felt sad that I had fallen again, that I had allowed depression to take me down, that for a moment I had believed depression's lies. But most of all, I felt grateful for all the resources I found. I went back to my room and laid in my bed with my husband, hopeful that we will talk about this misunderstanding and move forward. I am now the 10th person in line as I lay in my bed. I closed the tab on my phone because I had already been helped. Hopeful, knowing that better days are ahead, I upload my videos of New Year's resolutions on Wednesday, January 10th. My new year has just begun. Thursday, January 11th, I picked up my daughter from school. She hands me a paper that says she will be receiving 3 awards for her academic achievement in school. And I have the paper right here. The teacher, it's hard to see, but the teacher circled all the 3 different awards that she was going to be receiving. So she hands me that paper. And in the most angelic, precious, loving, caring voice, she asked, "Will you please come to my award ceremony?" And I told her, of course, as my eyes began to fill with tears. Even at my worst, Even though I had been feeling like crap, even though I had recently made a list that included reasons as to why, according to me, she will be better off without me. Even though I am broken, and I doubt myself and question myself from making the right decisions constantly. Even though I am currently not the best version of myself, and I'm not at my fullest potential, she still needs me. She still wanted me. I am still important to her. She loves me unconditionally. She believes in me. I am worthy in her eyes. Her words were the glue that put all my broken pieces back together. Hope. Hope is what has brought me to today. Hope is what has kept me going. My faith in knowing that all things will work out for good. What if I had listened to depression? Who would have joined my daughter on her award ceremony today? The thought scares me. Depression blinds us. Depression doesn't allow us to see all the love around us. Depression didn't want me to see what I am worth and how much I am loved. So don't let it blind you. Don't believe the lies that come with depression. Depression is a liar. Your life is worth living. You are worthy of our love. You are worthy of the best. You are a child of God. You are God's creation. You are God's most loved creation. It's okay to be sad. Honor your feelings, but don't unpack there. Don't let sadness turn into depression. Depression is a thief. Don't let it steal your joy. There is always hope. Hang on to it. Find hope. Whether it's through the Word of God, just the thought of survival, or maybe looking forward to attending an award ceremony. You are not alone. There is hope. Never lose hope. There is always a better tomorrow. Have faith. By grace through faith, I am finding healthier ways to deal with my depression. And I am proud to announce that I am going to start seeking professional help. I am hopeful, and I know that this chapter in my life will soon be over. Because I know that God is with me, and His plan is not over yet. And my life is worthy. And so are you. You are so worth it. You are loved. Don't ever forget that you are loved. Don't let nobody ever make you believe that you're not loved. Don't you dare allow anybody to make you believe that you're not loved. So, if you're anyone you know is suffering from depression, please message me or leave it in the comments down below. You don't have to tell me your experience. You don't have to tell me all the details. I know it's very private. You know, I'm making the choice to talk about it. But if you know somebody, just let me know, and I would like to pray for you. I would like to keep you in my prayers, because I believe in the power of prayer. And I know that at my lowest, He was with me. And I know that if we all pray for each other, we will make it through it. I am gonna leave in the description box all the information for the National Suicide Hotline, and the video that I watched from Terry. I think that was her, Terry Wise. I'm gonna watch her video down below in case you're interested in watching it too. I'll link it. I'm sorry, I was planning a better outro, but I'm just so emotional right now. But I guess just a quick update. It was an amazing award ceremony this morning. My daughter is so smart. And so is my son, you know. It was just that this time around, God made me see through her, through this little experience with the award ceremony, but don't believe depression. Depression's a liar. Okay? I'll see you in my next one.